I have always made art my entire life since I think my earliest from memory is going to summer camp at 9 years old and making little wood carvings. I wasn't encouraged in any way, uh, but that didn't seem to deter me. I actually had an art teacher in high school who was the first person to ever encourage me to make stuff. And make sculpture. And so that was the beginning of it. And then I went to college and got very lucky because the college I went to a little school in upstate New York, and the sculpture professor there, he had a great resume, and no one wanted to make any sculpture, so I was like the only person who was interested. So he gave me the keys to the castle. I became his TA for my entire college career, and that gave me a just whole nother insight into making art and watching what happened around. Because I came from what's referred to as a constructivist sculptural background, it's all about making models. So first you make a little maquette, right? And you'll see this, whether it's Picasso, whoever. You make a little model and you see, oh, you try to work out, as opposed to trying to work it out drawing. Now, some artists do that. Well, that's not how I work. I go, oh, I have this idea, and I get materials, and I start to try to put them together and try to make something that makes sense from a variety of it. I mean, scale, materials, texture, all that stuff. And then once I do that, then I take it to a larger format. How big do I want it to be? Where's that sweet spot for me visually? Where does it have the most impact? I approach my art practice like authors approach writing. And every author of note says the same thing. They have a very disciplined practice. They get up, they spend X amount of hours at the computer. I do the same thing. I get up, I spend some time at my desk marketing, and then the afternoons usually I spend actually bending metal or weaving paintings or doing whatever I'm doing. I have always stayed focused on process and not on results. You have to think, what's the littlest thing I can do today that will help me get closer to my goals? And let me focus on that, the absolute littlest. Um, I call it pushing the peanut, like just a tiny little bit. If I can move it just a tiny little bit every day, in a very short time, I'm going to have a lot of success. There's a great book I read, a friend of mine gave me called Big Magic, written by Elizabeth Gilbert, who wrote Eat, Pray, Love. And her advice, she has a, a couple of pieces of advice. One is protect your creative instincts, honor them. They were put there for a reason. So, if you feel driven to do it, then do it. As I got into my 50s, I realized, okay, I'm going to be focusing on this more and more, and I'm getting close to the age where I'm going to stop my day job. And so I started spending more and more time every day. The thing that has been always sort of a through line through all of my work is joy. I always say I make house jewelry. I'm not trying to make a statement. I'm not trying to, you know, articulate anything except just a joyful experience when you look at the work.